Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Global Markets Desk monthly webinar. Okay, today the webinar will be quite straightforward. Okay, we will be doing live counter review using technical analysis for US equities. Okay, so together with me, I'm Ying here. I have Jonah with me today. So we'll both go through some counters that you might want to see. Okay, so if you have any counters that you might want us to take a look at, you can leave it in the Q&A session. Okay, Q&A, the box, okay, leave it there, then later we will go through it one by one. Okay, so the flow, very straightforward also. Okay, I'll go through US indices. Okay, gold, then maybe with crude oil. Okay, then after that I will go through the FANG companies as well. Right, then Jonah will be going through the Q&A portion. Okay, so hang on now. Let me just switch to the chart now. Okay, so the current chart we are looking at, okay, is Dow Jones Industrial Average Index. Okay, so don't mind. Okay, all the charts I'll try to draw. I mean, with using the clean chart itself, okay, then I will just draw from what I'm looking at. Okay, so for Dow Jones, looking at the weekly, right? Okay, this year started quite. I mean, they are just basically stuck in the range now. Okay, Dow Jones. We don't really have a clear direction where these might want to go. But of course, taking note, you have to take note is these Dow Jones, right? They have been coming down on the downtrend. Yes, they did break away from this downtrend line. Okay, but then the thing is, ultimately Dow Jones is still stuck in a range area. Okay, from 34,000 to 30,000. Okay, it's a 30,000 to the 34,000 level. Okay, they are still stuck in this range level where they are just trying to. I mean, the direction itself is not clear, okay, basically. But on the good side is they did manage to break away from this downtrend line. Okay, so what we might be expecting to see, right, is Dow Jones starting a range level here. Okay, hang on, let me just remove everything. Okay, we might see Dow Jones starting a range at this level, 32,000 to 34,000 level. Okay, then we might be seeing another leg upwards. Okay, but ultimately, I don't see how they can break 36,000 yet. Okay, anytime soon. This year, I mean, the most recent FOMC meeting, right? Fed Chair Powell has been talking about. I mean, okay, he extended the period where this high interest rate environment will be going on for. Okay, so we don't see any case where he will just drop the rates anytime soon. Also, okay, of course he's slowing down on the hike. Okay, now it's like 4.5, 4.75%. Okay, inflation is coming down as well, but with all these strong data, right, inflation levels are still not at where the Federal Reserves wanted it to be. Okay, so tonight at 3 a.m. they will be releasing their meeting minutes. Okay, the meeting minutes from this month's FOMC. Okay, so I think a lot will be taking note on how they will be moving forward with all this data. Okay, but just general speaking, right? Okay, Dow Jones, they are currently just really at a range level. Okay, a very minor range level, which we are looking at the current point. Okay, rejections are still showing, but the only good thing, I wouldn't say, okay, it's not that good lah. Okay, but at least they are breaking away from their downtrend level, which they formed last year. Okay, so we might be seeing a rejection from 32,000 and if possible, any more upwards movement towards 36,000. Okay, next one we will have Nasdaq. Okay, Nasdaq. Okay, you see the difference. You see Nasdaq itself, right? Okay, because of this high interest rate environment, right? A lot of tech companies are getting whacked by the high interest rates. Okay, because they are mostly on debt itself, lah. Okay, so but same thing if you are just looking solely on charts itself. Okay, they did break away from their downtrend level. Okay, which they formed last year. A strong downtrend back towards a 10,000 level. Currently, price is stuck at this 12,000 area. Okay, we will probably still see them coming back downwards, okay? But as long as this 11,000, 10,000, high 10,000 level can hold, right, we should see price steadily moving towards the 13,000 level again. Okay, so this area here will be very delicate itself, even though they did manage to break away from the downtrend. Okay, ultimately they still haven't formed a new higher high. Okay, the most recent high was at 14,000 from last year August. Okay, price is still struggling to really break from that area. Okay, so for now, still, I mean, it's not that I mean, okay, in recent months, maybe the last 1 month, 2 months, right, you might see some companies, some counters that are moving more bullishly. Okay, yeah, but mainly it's because they have been discounted so heavily, right? A lot of people are starting to just buy into it to hold it out. Okay, but we will go through some of the counters later, then you will understand what I'm trying to say. Okay. Next one, okay, last of the index will be S&P. Okay, S&P, same thing, downtrend level got broken higher, okay, currently sitting at a 3,700 towards a 4,200 area, okay. Nothing much at the start of this year, okay, it's basically just going to start this minor range area, okay, but if you are looking towards this year, right, a lot will be based on how the Federal Reserve will be moving forward, okay, in terms of interest rates. Then also like inflation data nowadays. I mean, it did come down, okay, but it's still at a very high level, okay. So nothing that positive yet, okay. But chart wise, as long as price can stay above a 3,008, I think S&P can still attempt at this 4,000, 4,200 area, okay. Any more upwards movement, okay, we will really need to see a new higher low forming, okay, then continue with a new higher high. Okay, but with that being said, whether will it happen within these few months, for now, I mean, yeah, I mean, definitely a better probability than last year, okay, towards the year end. But let's see how they manage to sustain all the key levels first, okay. Then I'll go into gold. Okay, gold this week itself. Okay, same thing, weekly. Let's just look at the weekly for now because daily, I think it's too choppy in a way. Okay, too volatile. So gold level 1,950 towards the 2,000 level. Okay, it is still acting as a resistance. Okay, gold itself is more steadily now trading within a range level back towards a 1,650 level. Okay, as of now, past 3 weeks have been bearish, okay, movement on gold, okay, which that's why we are looking at maybe some equities are moving on the bullish trend. Okay, if you want to look at daily wise, right, just be very careful of this whole area here. Okay, we are looking at rejection of a 1,830 level. Okay, but if the rejection is not able to form a new higher high over here at 1,970, 1,980, right? Okay, we potentially will see a lower high being formed again, then price start to trade lower towards 1,600 level. Okay, so gold itself, yes, if we are looking at a longer period, right, gold is actually trading in the range level now. Okay, but this momentum towards the upside of this 1,900, right, we might not see it pushing through anytime soon. Okay, we will see orders getting taken away. Okay, so let's take note at this 1,720 towards a 1,660 level. Okay, next one we will have WTI crude oil. Okay, crude oil, same thing. I mean, last year they make I mean quite a nice high at 130 level, close to 130 level. Okay, subsequently it's just been trading downwards. Okay, you can see on the weekly chart itself. Once they broke this 90 level, price itself just couldn't sustain itself above. Okay, so same thing, we are looking at a range again. Okay, sad to say, but nothing really concrete on how oil is going to be moving this year yet. Okay, this range level, but I'm looking at this 66 to 70, right, as a very strong demand level. Okay, we should expect price to continue bouncing off this 68 to 70 level. Okay, this area here. So yeah, should be okay lah. I mean, should be looking at price coming down. Then after that, we are showing a rejection back upwards. Okay, whether the 90 level, whether this 90 level will break away, we probably need some catalysts, okay, probably OPEC or this kind of thing, whether they are going to cut supply or anything of that such. Okay, then also like today, China and Russia are meeting, right? I mean, they met. I don't know if they met already, lah. Okay, but they are meeting to talk about how China is still supporting Russia through all this tension, geopolitical tension. Okay, so today market probably will be very choppy again. Okay, so let's see how the market will react to such events. Okay, then okay lah. Let me just squeeze in one more US index, DXY. Okay, because with dollar, equities and dollar, more or less you can see the correlation. Okay, dollar has been slowly trading higher again. Okay, they tap off 100 level. Okay, the 100 level for DXY. Okay, rejection is shown, but just one thing to take note: dollar will start to meet some supply resistance level. Okay, at 106. Okay, so with this being said, okay, you can see the correlation, the inverse correlation, where dollar is getting stronger, equities are starting to come down. Okay, because yeah, like, this is more on the economy, the economic side of it. Okay, but with a strong dollar, right, it might be showing that. Okay, with this strong dollar showing, right, okay, participants in the market, right, might be already pricing in a bullish sentiments from the Federal Reserve. Okay, so they might be looking at Federal Reserve still going to rate hike. Okay, for the next maybe 1 or 2 more meetings. Okay, because for now we are still not clear how many times they are going to do. Okay, and how far they're going to stretch this. Okay, how aggressive they're going to be, lah. Right. So for now, with the dollar, we are only looking at, okay, maybe this movement, this upward movement, this rejection coming in might just be something that are pricing in that, okay, Fed might be continuing this move. Okay, that's why dollar is starting to move higher first. Okay, then with that, I will go into the counters. If you got any questions, right, I can just leave it in the Q&A section. Okay, for counters, I think I will go into daily charts. Okay, I think it will be easier to look at how price is running day to day. Okay, the first chart we are looking at is Meta. Okay, let me just clear away all this. Okay, Meta for now, you see, previously they have been coming down from a downtrend. I mean, very strongly a downtrend with all the gap downs and all, right? Okay, recently strong gap up from earnings, but currently price is trading above this previous support turn resistance. Okay, which is still a deep resistance. Then currently is trying to hold back as a support. Okay, whether price will hold here, I don't really think that it's very strong at this area. Okay, because there's still a gap down area that, I mean, a gap up area that they need to fill. Okay, there's still liquidity over here. So what we might be expecting to see, right, is price start to trade lower towards the 150 level. Okay, then once this level can sustain itself, we will see a movement back upwards. Okay, so whether they can bounce off straight from this 170, right? I wouldn't say there's no probability in that. Okay, it's not that it won't happen. Okay, but I would prefer a movement of them heading towards a 150 before looking for any more bullish movements upwards. Okay, but for sure it's looking way better. Okay, but that's just that because from last year bearish downtrend, right, there's a lot of levels to break, and there's, I mean, another thing to think about, the overall market, right, in general is not exactly moving that bullishly yet. Okay, even though they did break levels and all. Okay, then but then also, if just to take note, if you were to get into a position now, right, then you have to ask yourself, where were you back when they were at $130 or even lower? Okay, so just think about, I mean, the market is still not like a risk off scenario. Okay, so we still have a lot of things to think of before taking a position. This one, Apple. Okay, Apple basically range bound. I mean, if you are just looking at the long-term area, right, they are basically just still stuck in the range bound area. Okay, they are still trading up and down from 133 towards 177. Okay, plus minus lah, all these bits. Okay, if you are looking at a shorter term period, okay, Apple currently is heading towards this minor resistance, minor supply area. Okay, still getting rejected. They are still unable to really create a new demand level for price to hit higher. Okay, I'm not saying that they won't, okay, but for now, I think a safer level to look at is at 142. Okay, if they can, then you will be looking at a a higher low being formed. Okay, then price starts to attempt a higher high towards a 158 level. Okay, yeah. So for now, whether to get in, I think it's best. So same thing. Okay, same as what I explained for Meta as well. Okay, it's better to just wait slightly more. Okay, because if you don't go, I mean, if you haven't been in at this level, right? I think there's no rush to really jump into it as of now, because they are now currently trading at a level itself. Okay, if they are not showing any sign of breaking higher from it, right, then they are only just going to come down first, lah. Okay. Next one, Amazon. Okay, Amazon also quite interesting. Basically, it's just a range bound. Okay. The previous level that I have from quite a while ago, 115. Okay, but I just gonna remove first. Okay, 115. We have one level of previous support turn resistance level. Okay, around this area. Previously was a support which price start to break lower. Okay. It's still on a downtrend. This year, basically, they are just stuck in this level back towards the 85 area. Okay. How price is going to move? I just going to take this area, this day itself, 2nd of Feb, the earnings day, as an outlier. Okay. What basically it does, right, is basically it's not doing anything. Okay, simply put. Okay, they get up, okay, tap 115, 114, straight away rejection, trade lower. Okay, so for now, we know that this 100 level, right, 103 level is basically it's just going to be a level where price continue to reject. Okay, then looking across, looking back a few months back, they are still in the range area. A better level to really wait at is at this 80, 85 area. Okay, anything in between, okay, what I would look to do is if they were to form a higher low over here, okay, at any point around here, 89, 90 level, if they can form a level where they show rejection, right, we might see price attempting this 103 again. Okay, whether they will be able to break higher, right? For now, tough. Okay, there's no catalyst in the market, no catalyst from the company itself. Earnings is probably 2 months later, 3 months later. Sorry, 27 April. That's 2 months later. Okay, so we might just see a range bound movements from Amazon itself, until they start breaking off 103. Okay, then let's look at Google. Okay, Google, same thing, quite similar to Amazon chart. Okay, previous level of support, turn resistance at the current point. Okay, previous support, turn resistance, price get rejected. Of course, all these levels, I take it as its outlier. Okay, based on earnings itself, the catalyst come in, price start to push, but ultimately they are still rejecting off this 104, 105 area. Okay, so what we want to see is as long as price can hold on 84, 85 area, we should see them being a range bound area again. Okay, they will be stuck in this range area until they start to break. Earnings, same thing. 25th April, 2 months later. Okay, that will probably be one of the catalysts that will push price in a certain direction. Okay, but for now, nothing really bullish yet. Okay, if you would ask me like 2 weeks ago, right? Maybe when looking at here, maybe you might think of some probability. Okay, but the thing is, this movement upwards, if you are looking at it, this upward movement, right, they don't exactly form any lower high yet. Okay, maybe they have one small one here. Okay, but this itself, right, is not showing a strong movement of support yet. Okay, because it's ultimately the price is just moving in a one way direction. Okay, so what we want to see is this current area, the price area, right? If they can form another level and push higher, okay, then you can confirm we have a higher low form. Okay, because this is your lower low one, right? Then with this movement, we might have more substance in these upward movements. Okay, this maybe this start of the smaller uptrend first. Okay, then let's see how price can tackle even higher. Okay, then the next one, Netflix. Okay, yeah, Netflix, I think, okay, all this last time one, okay, I just remove first. But Netflix, not bad, I mean, towards end of last year. I think the movement, you see, this, I think previously I explained before in another webinar. Okay, we have this huge gap down area, which price is waiting to fill up this level, okay, to get filled, because you must understand is what, okay, one thing to understand is gap up, gap down, right? Basically the area where they gap away from, right? There's a lot of liquidity. Okay, I know there's no liquidity. That's why price will be able to run through it quite easily. Okay, then with Netflix, you also, I mean, if you are looking at it now, okay, they are slowly moving on this uptrend level. Okay, although another thing to take note is the candle itself is not exactly showing very strong movements. Okay, they are getting very narrow. Narrow, what I mean by narrow, right, is the candle is just skinny. It's small. Okay, they are not exactly pushing with a strong momentum. Okay, but good thing Netflix previously, they are trading above this area. Okay, they are trading above at this range level. They are trading above 337, 334, 340. Okay, after this gap down, price start to trade lower. Okay, but subsequently, price managed to form a supply level which ultimately became the demand for this up move. Okay, so currently price trading 337.5. It is not showing any more strong movement hours. Whether this guy can support, whether this guy can hold for more up move, right? I think it's best that we wait for price to trade lower. Same story, trade lower, form a new higher low, then for price to continue higher. Okay, so we might be looking at price slowly trading towards a 280 level. Okay. This is for Netflix. Okay, then I just squeeze in another Microsoft. Okay, even though it's not in FANG. Okay, Microsoft. Hang on. Okay, if we are looking at the normal classic way, right? Okay, you would have a downtrend level. Okay, price start to trade higher. Okay, price start to trade higher since the end of last month. Okay. But I mean, generally, right, what I'm looking at Microsoft, right, is really just in this range area. Okay, they did manage to push higher, okay, last week or maybe 2 weeks back. But I mean, ultimately, they are still in this range level where they previously formed, okay, because previously it's the same story, okay. They have a support, price start to trade lower, they form a level of rejection, okay. So I mean, it's looking better because they are holding above with a new higher high, maybe a new higher low. Okay, but I still think it's better that we look at the price of 240. Okay, 240, we might be looking at something nicer for price to start trading higher. Okay, otherwise, this level of 260, right, will still be a rejection. We are looking at some FO over here, pick up, okay, with rejection coming off the key level. Okay, so it's best that we wait lower. Once price start to trade lower, form some sort of rejection, right? You know that, okay, at a certain level they are rejecting and showing support, then we can try to take the trade higher. Okay, so yeah, with this, right, I will end off the FANG and also all the indices portion of the charting. Okay, then before I pass my time to Jonah, okay, let me just share a few things on some features that poems are currently having. Okay, give me a while. Let me change the slides. Okay, those that are not aware of this, okay, we actually have this community group on Poyon's Mobile Tree. Okay, P3 is a new app that we are having. Okay, previously is Poyon's 2. So with P3, right, you have these community groups. Okay, community groups are basically it's active lah. Okay, it's like a vibrant group. People we can go in and talk, ask questions, give our comments, anything. Okay, so yeah, feel free to go and download the app. Okay, join the community group. Okay, so the few community groups that we are having: growth investing, Singapore stock investing, equity research, earnings week, TA, ETF, and bonds. Okay, so you can go in, join any group you want, ask any questions. It's active lah, so we will be around to reply. Also, the best is among the community itself, we can talk to each other and also learn from each other. Okay, so this is one, a very cool feature of P3, okay, which I hope more people will join, okay, so that we can grow this community. Okay, next one also, join our global markets Telegram group. Okay, we share daily news, okay, up to date because we send it every morning, okay, when the market close. Okay, so all the news is more or less it's up to date. Okay, it's the latest one from what we are looking from Bloomberg. Okay, so we will send you any new details. I mean, new market news. Okay, basically. Then the last one, please join technical analysis Telegram group. Okay, Zain is our research guy from doing TA, right? Zain is still handling the Telegram channel. Okay, so show your support. He's doing weekly. I think he's still doing weekly webinars. Okay, doing charts as well. So yeah, feel free to join. Then yeah. Okay, so with that, I end off my portion. Okay, I pass my time to Jonah for Q&A, and he will be sharing some of the charts as well. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, Ying. So I will just answer some of the Q&A. We have a crypto fan here, so we'll go through the chart that he asked. We will do with Mara first. Okay, look, can we remove the drawings? Okay, Mara. Okay, for this attendee, right? Just take note that for the crypto industry currently is still more on the bearish trends after last year the whole FTX and the Terra saga. The whole crypto market is a constant bearish trend. And then also take note that the crypto market is highly affected by the USD. So because of the constant strengthening of the US dollar, the whole crypto market is heavily affected. So before I continue talking about the crypto industry, the Mara, Riot, Hive, and BTBT, just take note that the current Fed interest is at 4.75. So what would determine whether or not the rate hike will continue to increase, which is most likely still gonna increase. It's just that how many basis points they're gonna increase. But if supposedly the next Fed rate, okay, taking into account the next Fed rate, just assuming that the actual results is equal to the 4.7, meaning you say they remain unchanged, then we should see a potential upside within the crypto market, right? So for Mara, right, if we zoom in using the daily chart, if we will zoom in, of course, the immediate support, we are looking at around $6, 5.8 to $6 around within this immediate support. So if price managed to hover above, and let's say that 2 days later the PC price index, okay, because the previous PC price index, which is the indicator that Fed used for inflation, is at 5%. So supposedly it were to if it were to be below the 5%, then chances that and price continue to hover above this $6 level, we should be able to see a short-term bullish. But else, right, if we based on the immediate currently based on Mara, you look at the immediate trend is pretty much somewhat range bound between the 6 to 9. So just take note of this two level for Mara. Then next would be Riot. So very similar to Mara, okay, is also immediate wise. It's also pretty much right now immediate is constant bearish. Then is if you look at immediate is range bound, right? Immediate support will be around 5 to 5.5, right? Immediate support, and then immediate resistance will be around 7 to 7.5. So same thing, highly dependent on the 2 days later at 9:30 p.m. SGT. What would be the PCA price index data? Again, if it's lower, or if it's lower, then chances and still hover above the 5 to 5.5, then chances is that it may go up slightly. but just take note of this particular resistance level here. Okay, but if the PC price index were to go higher, will go the other, let's say go the other way around, let's say it's at 5.5, then there's a market fear, market sentiment, they may fear that the rate hike will continue to, that means the Fed will continue to have more rate hikes. There's that fear there. So that's why it's looking at 2 days later, what would be the PC price index, the data result release. So that's for Riot. Then the next one would be Hive. Then please in the Q&A session, if you have any question, just continue to post. Then the next one will be Hive. And you realize very similar, same as Mara, right? Actually, pretty much same movement, bearish, right? Immediate. If you are looking at Hive, then it will be somewhere around 2.6 to 2.8 immediate support, right? Then it's pretty much range bound. Then immediate resistance will be somewhere around 3.8 to 3.9. So price maintain to hover above, then we will see a short-term bullish movement, but just take note of this particular reason. If it manage to break out, then it's best that you wait for a breakout, then come back to retest, then we can anticipate a higher bearish move for Hive. Right, then after that, last one will be PTBT. Okay. Same, basically it's the same. You realize for Mara, right, Hive and the BTPT, they all have the same market structure, same market movement. Again, strong bearish, and then immediate, again range bound. Immediate support will be around 1.1 to 1.2, right? And then immediate resistance will be around 1.6 to 1.7. Right, so just know that PTBT is currently range bound. At this point, for the past 3 counter plus this, I wouldn't make any decision right now. Just I would rather wait for it to reach the support level, then before making any decision. Now, is there any other question? TRIV, yeah. TRIV. Let's take a look. Okay, DRIV on this EV, yeah. So EV strong bullish, right? Strong bullish. It has already broke based on the current market price movement. You realize that previously there was a support at the resistance, resistance at around 23 to 23.2. And price has already break above. So very good at where it is now. Okay, supposedly price continue to hover above, right? Then we would be able to see upward movement, rebound and retest and go back up. Then just know that probably the next one we are looking at, of course, immediate wise will be somewhere around 35. Immediate resistance will be somewhere around 35. Just take note of this level. Again, in order this may, I would think that this very particular resistance may not be as strong. So maybe you, supposedly if you were to make any decision here, know that this could be potentially break, but the next one will be somewhere around 26 already. So just take note. This is a very strong supply level. So this at where it is starting to drop to a lower low. So just take note of this particular. Even if you want to take further, just know of the 26 for DRIV. Then next one would be lead. Battery, yeah, okay. Same thing. Strong bullish. Then of course, looking at hindsight is actually somewhat range bound, but if you zoom in closer, right? Actually, price is going down. Then, of course, if you are looking at immediate support, we should be looking at somewhere around 63 to 63.2, because previously here tap and reject and went back up. And of course, if you zoom in further, you realize that Previously, somewhere around May last year, this is also where the price started to reject, right, to go back up. So we we are looking at somewhere around 64 to 64.2. Sorry, 63. Sorry, 63. So just take note. Then if price maintain to hold above, then we should be able to see an upward movement to somewhere around. So this range will be quite big. We are looking at around 72. So this particular counter, there's a higher upward potential movement if price was to continue hold above the 63 price level. I'll just take note for it. Tesla. Oh, Tesla is good. Okay. Yeah. Immediate wise is bearish. Okay, this is a strong bearish trend. Then we see that if you zoom in closer, right? Actually, price. This kind of price is usually quite tricky because previously there was a consolidation range move and then another range move. So usually this kind, if you were to look immediate wise, there should be a level at around 197. Hold on, give us a moment, sorry. Okay, so there should be an immediate level somewhere around the 197, 198, but this is very tricky because this could be a potential fake out. So there is a chance that this thing will suddenly drop, right? If it were to drop, then the next level we are looking at would be around 166 to 168 price level for Tesla. So this is a little bit tricky. So I wouldn't do anything as of right now. So it's best that you want it to for the next few days, you wish to see a few bullish candle before making any decision for it to go for upward movement for Tesla. Okay, if it fails to form any bullish and it show some bearish candle, then there is a chance that it will go back down to the 166, 168 level. Also take note for Tesla. This is a little bit tricky. So next one would be Nikola. Nikola Corporation. Personally, Nikola is a strong bearish trend. I'm not very familiar with Nikola, but usually when I look at such a price movement, usually I will just avoid this kind of counter altogether. But if you were to zoom in, right, then of course immediate wise is somewhere around 2.3. But don't pour in any high hopes that this particular counter will. I'm not saying it won't. It's not saying that it's impossible to happen. Nothing is impossible, but it's that the probability of it going up from here, looking at this strong bearish, such a strong bearish movement, the potential of it really shooting up is very low. You probably only get very minimum gains for this particular counter. So I shall not speak too much for this particular counter. So the next one I'll be look at TDOC. Yeah, Teladoc Health. Teladoc Health, same thing. Same like Nikola is usually when looking at such a price, same thing. Usually I wouldn't speak too much for this particular counter because of how bearish the price movement is showing. Okay, but same, if you look at, we'll scroll in where it is now, is showing a range bound movement. Okay, immediate resistance should be around 33 to 35, and then of course immediate support would be we should be looking around 24. So if you were to wish to have some gain for this Teladoc Health, then either you wait for it to reach around 24 before making any decision, or you want it to break the 35, right? Like break strong, like a strong break, come back down, then you may anticipate it to then rebound back up again for Teladoc Health. Then next one would be GM GameStop. GameStop pretty much actually is pretty much range bound. Then is already sitting at the immediate support of 19.75 to 20. So it's already, so it tried to went down and then sort of like did a fake out and then form another range here, small minor range here. So you realize that immediate resistance would be somewhere around 25. So right now GameStop, if you look at price movement, if price hover around the $20, above the $20, then there is a chance that it will go up to 25. But whether or not it will break above the 25 and then shoot above like previously what has happened, I think the chances not very high lah. Personally, looking at how the price is moving currently, unless there is a catalyst, sudden catalyst, or there's some speculation that will cause GameStop to spike up. Else, I think is most likely within the next 2-3 weeks. I think it will still be a range bound movement, right? Then last one, I will do one GFS. Okay, is there more counters that you want me to share? Because I realized the Q&A, there's no more question for the charts already. So I'll go through this. Okay, hold on. GFS range bound. Okay, very obvious range bound movement. It's pretty much just hovering somewhere between. This is around 46, 45, 46 to somewhere around 72, 72.9, 73. You realize the range bound movement is usually hovering within these two price, right? Right tap, reject, tap, lower 45, reject, right? So it's more of a range bound movement. So it has already tapped the previous 72. So unless it form, if you zoom in, unless it form rebound at somewhere around the 62 level, right? It stays above, then we can see that it going back up. But if you were to suddenly break down, then there is a chance that you will just continue to go down to where previously it rejected at around 46, 47, right? Though also take note of the strong resistance at around 72 for GFS. Then NU. NU Holdings. NU Holdings. NU Holdings, strong bearish. Of course, right now, if you're looking at immediate where the price is moving, actually is a range bound movement, very strong range bound movement. Okay, we are looking at somewhere immediate resistance at around 5.5, right? And of course, the immediate support will be somewhere around 3.5. Right, so price already tapped the 5.5 resistance level and is already showing a strong rejection. So if it does not hold above the, if you look immediately, if you somewhere around 4.6, it does not hold above, chances is that it will continue to go down to the 3.5. But if let's say you manage to hold above, there is a chance they will rebound. But whether or not will it break this 5.5, looking at the chart, the chances are not very high. So for this counter, probably is a lot of waiting game. So suggest that you don't look at this counter for the meantime. The next one would be BRKK. BRKK, is it Berkshire, I believe, BRKB. This particular attendee, is it BRK? I believe it's Berkshire, right? I just do Berkshire. Okay, the Berkshire. Berkshire, strong bullish, very strong counter. Then where it is right now, if we look at the immediate, actually price has already formed a very strong support level. It's already touching the strong support level at around 300. Right, so price, and yes, just yesterday you realize even though it closed bearish, you realize that this particular daily candle is showing a form of rejection, and pre-market is already trading slightly higher. So and where it is now, there is a very strong chance that as long as hold above today, show a very bullish candle, then chances is that will continue upward. We should be looking at immediate resistance at around 320. Okay, immediate. Then if there is a strong catalyst that break the 320, then very high chance that this thing will continue to shoot further to somewhere around, we are expecting somewhere around 345. Right. Next potential support resistance should be somewhere around 345, 340 to 345, around that zone for Berkshire. Then TA on IBIO. IBIO is I apologize, but this particular counter is also one of the, like I say, is one of the few. Usually when I see such a price movement, right? I probably wouldn't bother looking at this counter anymore. But I will just briefly explain. Of course, if we look, because previously somewhere there was a gap here, so price has really gap up. Then yesterday you also closed bullish, so technically it's already hovering at a potential resistance support. It's like a resistance support flip. So the resistance level have turned support, right? So price only hold above 1.4, then probably the next price we are looking at is already at the 2 already. So the movement is only about 50 cents. So whether or not can it go above the $2 and then shoot up, to be honest, looking at this kind of chart, I would say that the probability is very low. So for the meantime, maybe you want to look at other counter rather than look at this one. Okay, so the next one would be, let me see, Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley. Wow, Morgan Stanley is currently very bullish. Okay, let me see. Probably the immediate support we should be looking at around 94, 95, right? So currently the price is not rejecting any form of a resistance right now. So there is a chance that it's just trying to come down to tap back to this particular support. So if price were to hover above the 95, right, as long as there's no any form of catalyst, Morgan Stanley in the I can't really predict, can't really forecast what would really happen for the next 6 months, but for sure, I'm not say for sure, but there is a very high probability that price for Morgan Stanley price continue over the 95 price, most likely is going to come down first. There's a chance it's going to come down first, tap the 95, and then we would see a strong bullish upward movement to somewhere around 105, right? Immediate. Because previously that's where it start to form the range here. So let's see if it does tap and hold above the 95 for Morgan Stanley. There's a high probability that will go up to the 105 level for Morgan Stanley. Then for JP Morgan, JPM, very similar, quite similar. Okay, price previous there was a resistance somewhere around here, and then it has started to turn support at around 135, around 136 to 138 level. So price continue hover above the 138, but for JP Morgan is slightly different from Morgan Stanley. There is a chance that it will start to range bound at this area. Based on the technical side. There is a chance that it will. So this will be around 144. So it will start to probably range bound within these two levels. So a more definite confirmation would be if you want to see JPM to at least break the 144. So you want it to tap, go up, strong bullish that break above 144, come back down, then will we be able to see it continue the upward movement to the next one will be somewhere around the 155. Okay, somewhere around here. Right, else if the current price where it is starting to go lower, chances is that it may fall back down to somewhere around the 128 or 129, 128.8, 128.129, somewhere around here, right? So that's for JPM. GOVT. GOVT should be Treasury bond. Okay. Because right now for GVOT is a strong bearish trend, right? Price immediate level we should be looking at somewhere around 22.6, right? Because previously price went down, right? From minor supply here went down, failed to go down and break above, and then from this support, so it's resistance support. So there should be a very strong support level around 22.65, right? Then if as long as price continue to hover above, right, then we should be able to see a upward movement to around 23.4 level. But if price were to go down, then chances that we will go back down to the previous low at around 22.1. That's for GVOT. Right, this is very straightforward. Okay, price can come. If price were to break above, then of course the next one we are looking at should be around 24.35, 24.4. Right, price break above, rebound back and then go back. But that should be, that's for GVOT. Okay. I shall do another 2 more counters and then we will end the webinar. So I will do Visa. Okay, Visa range bound. Okay, immediate range bound. So price has already tapped near previous strong supply level at around 234, 235, and it's a ratio of rejection, right? Of course, immediate support we should be looking at somewhere around 216 to 218, right? Because previous there was a range, we start to reject, break above. Now it's coming back down. So price continue to go, stay above the 217, 218, then chances is that it will continue to go up. Then is whether or not it will continue to break the 233, 235 level. If it can break, then if this were to be broken, then we should see Visa continue the upward movement to somewhere around the 250 level. Okay. But if it fails to hold, then chances is that this thing will continue to drop. Right, fail to hold above the 218. Right, then chances is that will continue to drop. Then the next one we should be looking at somewhere around 200 for Visa. Okay, this particular demand here. And I will do one last counter and I shall end the webinar. The last one will be ACN. ACN, okay, very strong bullish trend. Okay, immediate trend is coming down. Right, where it is now is not hovering any level. So we are looking at a very immediate support of around 255 to 256. right? Previously, tap, reject, did a fake out and then reject again, tap one more, went back up again. So this is actually a very strong support level. So if price were to tap and hold above the 258, 257, 258, we can expect a strong upward movement to somewhere around the 290, 288 to 288 to 290 level, right? And if price can break above, most likely this level probably doesn't represent anything, so probably it will go back, then it can go to around the 319 to 320 level, right? So that's for ACN. Then that is pretty much for the Q&A, TA analysis, and thank you very much for joining us this evening, and we'll see you guys in the next webinar. Thank you very much. Bye bye.